So the Zohar says a story like this. Rabbi Yitzchak and Rabbi Yehuda were going on the road. They were going to Tzipori, so then the north of Israel. Right? And they saw a little boy, and he was walking with a chamor, with a donkey. The donkey had like bags on the back, pouches with honey and wine. The boy was walking close to them, and he said, "Okay, let's walk together." Rabbi Yehuda said, "Name a milah deraisa v'neizel. Let's talk and learning." So Rabbi Yehuda said something, and the boy spoke up and he said, "No, you didn't say the pshat right." So they looked at the little kid and they said, "Wow, tell us, what is the pshat in the pasuk?" So he said a beautiful pshat in the pasuk, and to do with learning Torah, and Torah is like wine, and Torah is like honey. So they said, "Wow, such a good pshat." So they were excited. They went to the boy. They kissed him on the head. They said, "What's your name?" He said, "Yesa." So they said, "Your name is going to be Rebbe Yesa." Rebbe. They learned from him something. So they said, "Who's your father?" He said, the boy said his father passed away. But he said that his father used to teach him every day. He used to learn every day. He used to teach him 3 halachas, and every night 3 things from the Agadata.
Wow!
And this is from the things that he learned from his father. So they said to him, "What's going on with you now?" So he said that there is a man that I live in his house. He's an old man. He doesn't let me learn. I have to work for him. And they said, "Tell us about this man." He said he's a person, he doesn't know the Eibishter, he doesn't bench to the Eibishter. He has sons, he doesn't send them to the base medrash. They said, "We don't even want to see his face. Just let the donkey walk and you come with us." And that's what happened. He went with them, they sat on a rock. They asked him they should say things from his father. Rabbi Yitzchak said something, Rabbi Yossi said something. Rabbi Yehuda, like that's the style in the Zohar. They're always walking, they're sitting down on rocks. And Pasach Rabbi Yitzchak and Pasach Rabbi Yehuda, Pasach Rabbi Abba. And they're talking about things, the Soidus HaTorah. And there's many Soidus HaTorah that each one is saying. And that they asked him, "But what's your father's name?" He said, "My father's Rabbi Ze'era of Kfar Ramin." So Rabbi Yehuda started to cry. He said, "I was in your father's house. I learned from him 3 things about Kodesh Bracha, 2 things of my Bereshis." They took the boy with them, and they brought him to the base medrash. This boy grew up to be unbelievable success. He stayed with Rabbi Yehuda, and when he
don't see.
I don't know if this is Rabbi Yehuda knows. I don't know. They said his friends used to stand up for him, and the friends called him Rabbi Yossi Reisha de Patisha. He had a head like a patish. He could break rocks with his head. He could bring out sparks flying in all sides.
Sounds like one of those Chinese meditating.
Yeah, exactly. So let's look at the Zohar inside. Just read a few words inside the Zohar. Page 78, it's Aflamates on the base in the Zohar. It goes like this. So they're talking things in Torah, Rabbi Yehuda and Rabbi Yitzchak. Look about 10 lines from the top, a little more than that. It's the first word of the line is Yitzchak. You see the first word of the line is Yitzchak?
Yeah.
Also, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yitzchak, Noshkele Lereisha, they kissed the boy on the head, V'chodim, they were very happy with him. Amar Lo, they said to the boy, "My Shimcha, what's your name?" Amar Lo, he said to them, Yesa. Amar Lo, Yeb Rebbe Yesa Tehei. From now on, your name is Rebbe Yesa. Tehei Shkiach Ba'alma, and you should live a long time in this world. Longer than Rebbe Yesa Chavrona, Distalak Mebenena, than Rebbe Yesa, which was our friend, and he passed away. You should live a long life. Amar Le Manavuch, who's your father? Amar Le, he's answered, After my alma, my father passed away. Baba Oilef Li, he used to learn with me, Kol Yom every day. Gimel Milan de Reise, 3 things from the Torah. Ubalayla Gimel Milan de Chochmas Adagadata, 3 things of the wisdom of the Agadah and the Torah.
So you learn from him 3 things only every day?
Every day. By day, 3 halachas, and by night, 3 Agadah.
That's how long he has been there.
I know, it's like funny. That's the story with like the Zohar. Every day you learn with him 3 halachas, and by night 3 things of Agadah. I don't know, you go to school, you learn 3 halachas every day, 3 Agadah every night. What I told you, I learned from my father. Now, I'm living with a man. He took me away from learning Torah. I work every day. I go to work. And every day I repeat to myself things that I learned from my father from when he was alive. Right? They asked him, and that old man that raising you now knows learning? No. Sabo, he's an old man. He knows not how to thank and how to make a bracha to the Eibishter.
He doesn't know how to.
Yeah. Islay Bonin, he has sons. He doesn't send them to the yeshiva. Amar Leib Yehuda, Ilo have hoche have alinen legabei lahai kfar lemalola aloch. If he was a person who could learn Torah, so yeah, I would go talk to the old man to treat you better. I would go negotiate with him. Hashda that he's not learning any Torah. He doesn't say brachas. It's forbidden to look at his face. You know what? They said, Shadi chamrach, throw away your donkey, minoch from you, v'at ozel legabon, you walk with us. Amrulay, they said, man hu avoch. So what was your father's name? Amr, he said, Reb Zira de Kfar Aman. He was Reb Zira from the Kfar called an Aman. Shamri Behuda Bocher, Behuda cried, Amar no, avina bevesek. I was in your father's house for lifnim like gimel milan the cost of the bercha. I learned from him 3 halachas and kosher bracha. But lifnim in the ma'aser bereshis today, and I learned from him 2 things in ma'aser bereshis. Today's 2. Chod is 1. Today is 2. Tzaras is 3.
Today's Zuzin.
Yeah, that's it. Today's Uzi. Omer Rabbi Yitzchak, Ma Rabye Berei Ulifne. So Rabbi Yitzchak said to Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda met the boy's father. Rabbi Yitzchak didn't. Rabbi Yitzchak said, "My Mahai Ravya, from this little boy Berei, the son, Ulifne Menei, Elifne, I learned Minei LeKolchkin. If I had known his father Kolchkin, I would have learned from him. Ozl va'achdu biyode. They went and they held his hand. Chomu, they saw Chad Chakal. They saw 1 tree. Yosef Tamon, they sat under the tree. Omar Lahu, they said, Eimach Chad Milam Inun de Loifloch Avuch b'Maisa Bereshis. Tell us something your father taught you about Maisa Bereshis. So the boy Pasach V'Omer, he opened his mouth and he started saying, and then Rabbi Yitzchak said, and then Rabbi Yehuda said, and then he took him to Beis Medrash, and he stayed there forever, and he became a famous Rabbi Yisrael.
So we're talking about, again, this is going a little bit in circles. The story starts with Yitzchak finds
Rabbi Yitzchak and Rabbi Yehuda find this little boy on the road.
Oh, they find a little boy on the road.
Walking on the road with
a
a donkey with wine on it.
Right. And they ask him, where are you coming from? What do you do? Okay, I understand. But he says he used to live by
his father.
Yehuda's father. Yehuda or Yitzchak's father.
The boy said his father passed away.
Oh, his father.
And Rabbi Yehuda asked him his father's name. Rabbi Yehuda realized that he knew the boy's father. And he said that Rabbi Yehuda said that he learned by the boy's father. So they decided to take the boy with them.
Yeah.
They ask him first, who is this old man that you're living there?
But the question is that, I mean, according to Chassidus, over here there's a time to do. Besides taking the child, also the guy who making work also can help. Maybe he doesn't know, like you find a lot of times.
That's maybe why. That's why the boy said. The boy said he's an old man.
Saba.
Right. My dad always used to make l'chaim. Used to say, I know, but the Saba has to. You say why?
It really means older grandpa.
Saba means an old man.
Old man.
In the Zohar, Saba means an old man. And basically, an old man that is not a big scholar, not a big scholar, but he doesn't say brochus, that means that he's not interested.
Or he's not, or he
Is it
doesn't
Osher?
know. Maybe he doesn't know.
Back then,
These
they didn't have
fellows,
the problem.
these fellows in the Zohar, they could smell. They knew things.
So he was isolated from Torah.
Right, so that's why they
and
took
they
him.
took him. They
took-
adopted him
They took him, right.
to teach him Torah.
Right.
No, but the interesting part is that they actually did not try to find the source and help the situation and see if the situation.
But they have.
No.
Ask him, who's your
The
father?
kid, yes. I'm talking about the one who gave him work to live.
Oh, yeah.
Someone took him under his wing.
They didn't know who
Somebody, a nice person, decided to take under his wing. The guy lost
He
his
didn't
father.
work here. He's so young kid, so I come work for me. Underpaid.
It was to his
It's
advantage.
everything.
Yeah.
Everybody's at disadvantage. You
Look,
knows it. I can not
That's
give-
what they thought. They saw kids walking with a
Right.
donkey.
Yeah.
They asked him. He said, "This fellow doesn't let me learn. He makes me work day and night." So they said, "We'll take you." There was no adoption papers. There was no police
No.
that's going to take Rav Yitzchak. Today in Israel, they would go to jail. Rav Yitzchak and be.
That the kids, you have to take years after years.
I understand, but if
But
someone
now-
adopted,
Here, what do you mean? In
if
United
someone
States,
adopted a boy
in
and
United States,
mistreated the boy, didn't let him go to the yeshiva, make him work, and then the Rabbi Yitzchak and Rabbi Yehuda take him by his hand, say, "Wait, come with us to the base medrash." Never mind, let the
They will go
donkey
to jail like this.
let the donkey walk back over there to the old fellow. You come with us to the base medrash.
it's gonna happen. No.
So there is the Rebbe's father wrote on the Zohar when he was in Golus. He wrote very little, but we have a lot from that little bit that he wrote. The Rebbe used to say and explain his father's tzaras over a period of many years, every single Shabbos. So the Rebbe's father, a few nekudas. Why is it like everything in this, like the Zohar stories? A lot of them are very funny. He learned with me. The boy said every day. By daytimes, 3 halachas, and by night, 3 agadata.
Stories.
3 stories. Like,
Making it more interesting.
why is it dafka 3, and why is it that the halachas by day and agadata by night? So you get everything could say, yeah, whatever. He knew that the boy could learn 3 halachas. By day, his head was a little stronger. By night, it was story time. But this is the Zohar HaKodesh. So even if that was true, obviously every detail in the Zohar is there to learn, and so the Rebbe's father talks everything in Kabbalah. So he says 3 and 3. The 3 are Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes. The other 3 is Netzach, Hod, Yesod. There is day and there's by night. There's Midas Yoim and Midas Laila. By day you're supposed to learn Nigla. By night you're supposed to learn Nista.
That's
Why?
what the time was a sphere?
Well, now is the time. Why by night is the time of darkness, when things are concealed. Nista, the Torah, is concealed, so you have to learn it by night. Nigla, the Torah, is revealed, so you have to learn it by day, right? So he says that's the pshat. The Torah has chesed, gevura, and there's that, and then there is tiferes, which makes shalom between chesed and gevura. So there is
Malchus doesn't exist.
Malchus is not one of the Sfidas really. It's a separate thing. That's what we say.
It work like this, Malchus, and then
And sometimes we count Malchus together. We say the 7 Sfidas, sometimes we say 6. And over here it's interesting, we're splitting it into 3 and 3. And why are we splitting it into 3 and 3? Because it says in Tanya that the Ikar Amidas is Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes. These are the emotions, the main emotions of a person is Chesed, Gevura, and Tiferes. Netzach Hod Yesod is more like functional. From Chesed Gevura comes Netzach Hod, because a person.
isn't it by every one of the midas has Netzach Chesed Hod?
Yeah, everyone. But I'm saying in general, it's brought that Chesed Gevura Tiferes are the main 3 midas, and then the second. That's why it's called 3 and 3. And the first 3 has the shayches to midas yoim. Therefore, he spoke to him and teach him halacha of nigla by yoim, and this to the Torah he used to teach him by night. And then he says a whole thing about the Gilgul Neshamas was Yaakov and Yosef HaTzadik. Yosef sounds like Yosef, and Reb Zeira was like it was Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu had and it says that Yaakov Avinu learned the halachas of Shem ve'Ever, ki ben zekunim. Everything he learned from Shem ve'Ever, he was teaching to his son. One Shem is the Torah. Kol HaTorah Shmoisav Shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Nigla. Eved is far. It's nista the Torah. So Yaakov was learning with his son Nigla the Torah and Nista the Torah. And also as a Gilgul later, many years later, there was Reb Zeida, which was like Yaakov Avinu, and his son, which was Reb Yesa, and he was teaching him the Nigla the Torah, the Nista the Torah Shem, and Torah of Eved.
Why they call him Rav Zehira? Zehira, it's a small.
He was about, no, he was probably an honor. He was a humble man, probably. So that's why they call him Zeira. Okay. Adkan. So the Rebbe explained that why is it we have 6 midas, but then we split into 3. Why is it we split into 3 and 3? Verstandig. Because there's the Ikrei HaMidos, which is Chesed Gevura Tiferes. That's a Chod Yisoid, is the secondary midas. What can we learn this in Avodas Hashem? The Mishnah says that the first world stands on 3 pillars: Torah, Avodah, Gemilas Chasadim. So every Yid, the first thing is a Yid has to know there's 3 things: Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes. In the world of Toyu, there's only 2 things: Chesed and Gevura. They're always fighting; they can't get along. In the world of Tikkun, there's Tiferes. Yovei Ashlishi v'Achli Benein. We find a way to make a compromise between Chesed and Gevura. There's one attitude which is always Chesed, there's one always Gevura, and we always find a way to put together the Chesed and the Gevura. Oisa Shalom b'Emroima v'Yasa Shalom. We might find a way that's Tiferes. In Kedusha, there's always the number of 3. That's why Shloisha Dvarim Ha'olam and Al Torah Gemarla Mitzvah Chasadim is 3. It has to go together. And in general, this before Svidus Omer, we're counting the Midas, but also not only we're counting the Midas, but Svidus Omer is a time of Achdus, right? Because Vayichon Sham Yisrael Neged the Horus, we're getting ready for the Torah. We have to have Achdus and Klal Yisrael. Then the Rebbe says a lesson that we can learn from this. He said that my father used to teach the boy was saying things he learned from his father. And the boy said Nebuch, his father died, and he was alone, and he used to always say things over. He was chazing himself things to his father. But here is a beautiful lesson of Avodas Hashem. A person might say, how much did I learn? I ended up yeshiva, this, I got married, I'm working now for a living. There's big Talmidei Chachamim, they're going to teach Torah. I'm just, I'm a plumber. I'm Joe the plumber. You remember Joe the plumber? I'm Joe the plumber.
Another error.
Huh?
You made a big ruckus.
Yeah. I'm Joe the plumber. What do you want from me?
It's funny that
Yeah?
they're all being raised, usually in the yeshivish world, what I remember. Everybody's going to be Rosh Yeshiva.
Right.
They're going to Rosh Yeshiva.
Okay, but now this guy who's wasn't raised that way. Yeah, he
Rosh
knows,
Yeshiva of the plumbers.
he knows 3 halachas. He knows 3 halachas. You have to, if you know 3 halachas, you have to teach it to another Yid 3 halachas. Mm-hmm. All the spheres together are 6. But you don't wait. You're going to wait till you have all the 6 spheres in your pocket. So when I'm going to finish, I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to start teaching someone else.
Yeah. It's very unique. Last week, when I one of the cab rides that I had to go from place to place, was a Jew. He goes to Lubavitch, not religious, whatever. But he was asking me, can you give me I couldn't get it out of my head. I gave him a few ideas, whatever, but he was asking for some Dvar Torah.
We're thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah, not religious, wasn't an old man, 70 years old, driving around people from place to place. And he's like, he said, give me a chiddush. Yeah, I was shocked. And he was really he was really inspired. He says, I see Mashiach every day. I said, wow. But I'm saying is like
He's a cab driver. Tell him if just in case Mashiach hails his taxi, he should give you right away a heads up.
Heads up. That was interesting that the point of having it in mind that
Right.
every time
You always have to have something, a word. If a Yid wants to have a word, you don't have to, like this little boy. He was a little boy, he didn't know that much, but right away he was walking with his donkey. Right away he said a Dvar Torah from his father.
What did he say?
What he said?
What did he say? Yeah.
He said a Dvar Torah about Torah being like good wine, and Torah is like wine. Okay. But whatever he learned, right away he chaz it. So a person will say, I need to have all the 6 midas. When I purify all the 6 times 6, 7 times 7. I'm going to be a big tzaddik. Then I'm going to teach another year. No. As soon as you have shloisha dvorim shalem olam oimed, right away teach. If you only have one thing, not good. You have to have Torah. Avoiding milas chasadim. Person says, I only have Torah. Go back to Beis Medrash.
I have a woman in my building, she's 72. She started becoming religious because of us, and she came to Rabbi Maroz of Shir for Pirkei Avot.
Yeah, but she's going to
Florida.
Florida now. Okay, so
But
she's
she
going to
was
miss.
waiting.
She's
This
waiting.
year-
She's going to have to wait another whole year.
Last year, she used to come half an hour before
I know.
you arrive. She come and sit and wait. She said, I love to learn. 72. She
Yeah.
start learning.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Make
She's
me-
trying to signal you.
What's the thing? This lady goes to every year to Florida for the winter. A whole winter she was waiting to go to Florida because every day was another
No, she had
thing.
problem with the leg. That's why
Ah,
she delayed it till now. She's going Wednesday.
she'll miss it this
There's
summer.
plenty of shluchim over there.
Huh?
Yeah, we'll hook her up with a shliach there.
Yeah.
Florida's
I
a
heard
lot
some
of
people
shluchim.
there.
No,
Very
it's like the
saturated.
Rav is a special thing. That's the
Okay,
one
what
more.
can we do?
But
She
you
can't
can
miss
Listen
it.
online for
And Shabbos.
We told her
right?
we can listen online. She
On
said no,
Shabbos.
she likes to come.
Not the Shabbos here.
Okay, now let's go to another thing. Turn the page. Unbelievable story that was this week in Sichat HaShavua from the Tefer Shloim of Radomsk. So there was a Yid Hershler. He goes to the United States of America. He's in Choivis. He says to his family, he's going to come back. He's going to gold in a Medina. When he gets a little pile of gold, he comes back. From Poland, he come back. He had a lot of Choivis Nebuch. He was a business. Also Zango to come back. The family said, no, but Sataref in Medina, what are you going to do? He says, I'm strong. Don't worry. I'm going to shmini Shabbos, kashrus, I'm good. Okay. He went. And first he was getting letters. They were getting letters from him. Baruch Hashem, he got a great job and he's doing good. He's making money. He's putting money away. And he found a whole bunch of friends. They're keeping Shabbos. They're together. Then they're getting less letters from him. And they started hearing it over the Atlantic that Herschel is not what he used to be. One time they hear that he's working on Shabbos, so they went to the Tefer Shloim Radomsk. They asked the Rebbe what the Rebbe says you write a letter to New York to Sichos Rabbi Yaakov Yosef. Rabbi Yaakov Yosef should call this Hershler and give him Musar. He was a Choshev Yid. He was a tzaddik and a Goen Otzum.
He's buried by the...
On the Jackie Robinson,
That's
right?
I went to
Back
study.
was all for the boss.
No. He lived at that time. Before that, maybe. They brought him from Lithuania. He was at Goen Otzum. Yeah, and they brought him to New York. They thought he'll be the chief rabbi in New York.
Mhm. Had a problem.
Yeah,
Had a lot of problems.
they made him problems. They made him tzaras through this his whole life. Yeah, they only
Why they get him?
because he came here and he thought he's going to make a seder. There was all these kosher butcher shops, so really saying selling treif. He tried to organize it. It should be kosher, should be a hechsher, should kosher be kosher.
I found one of those restaurants upstate New York.
Basa.
No, it's kosher. It says kosher.
Kosher style.
I walk into the place. I said, where's the kosher? Where's the kosher? No. We just don't. We sell our own kosher.
Your own kosher.
Your own kosher. No, it says kosher, and they sell in Hebrew. And the Jews are eating there. It's kosher in our own
Well,
way.
you can get in trouble from the state.
Not religious. I know. No, it's kosher in the Mahadran. That's where you get caught. Kosher is
If
not.
you write regular kosher, the state
The
won't do
state
anything?
cannot stop you.
Oh,
Kosher
yeah?
in the Mahadran, where you are trying to say you real. There's a restaurant over here in I found also. I think it's still not as kosher in Mill Basin. Mill Basin.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a deli.
On Shabbos.
On Shabbos, yeah.
Oh my God!
Kosher.
They advertise.
You're allowed to do it because it's not a.
They have kosher meat.
The Mehadrin is the one like you make
Style.
it start.
Style.
If there's a certain title that
Hebrew
you
national
are,
that
they can do, yeah. Whatever. It's
In
in
Israel,
kids are-
Israel, they have restaurants
Yeah.
that they're kosher. One side, and I think we went to various. One side was meat. The menu, turn it over, was dairy.
Oh,
The same place.
yeah.
I got
Same room.
vegetarian
Oh, yeah.
What kitchen?
So
He wanted to
the
make a
Yaakov
statement.
Yosef tried to make a seder here in New York. They were rid of him to his grave.
Wow.
But he was a
But he
Erlich
couldn't
Rebbe,
succeed.
he
Couldn't
was a
succeed.
Talmid Chochem, was a Goan Hotzum. He was very Erlich Yid, and he was a big Yerushalayim. Yeah, people go, like organized
My
groups.
wife went with her
Yeah.
twice 1 year.
He called the
he
Yid,
was chassid, no?
Hershele, tried to talk to him. Guy just laughed at his face. He walked out the house. Yaakov Yosef writes a letter to Poland. I tried. I can't do anything. Went back to the Teferet Shloime. The Teferet Shloime said, look, write again to the Yaakov Yosef. We should call the Yid one more time. Let him know that the Teferet Shloime says that he's a Cohen. And the Pasuk says, V'huvel a Cohen. The person will be brought to the Cohen.
This week's promise.
And he has a choice.
He's either-
Either he could come back to Europe nicely, he could decide himself. Otherwise, V'huva, he'll be brought.
They bring him.
Okay. I wrote a letter to Yaakov Yosef again. Yaakov Yosef tried to call the Yid, talk to him.
No, he actually came.
He came to the
and
Yaakov
he
Yosef's
said-
house, but the Gemach
Yeah.
Latzonis, he left the train. Wasn't meant on. A few days later, the guy sees he has some things growing on his skin. Thinks it's a small thing. Go to the doctor. Go to the doctor, get a cream.
Leprosy.
The doctor says, wait a little bit. He's waiting.
The saga checks.
Met Nawal, he shows up with people from the health department. Oh, they were scared that he didn't know what it is. And he was scared that this is some unusual disease. Maybe it's contagious. But kids say he was quarantined. They looked into his status. He's a Polish citizen. He wasn't yet an American citizen.
Cohen.
They put him in jail, the Vaila.
Sent
And
quarantine.
the next ship that there was a cargo ship going back to Europe. They sent him back.
Wow.
He couldn't even go back to his apartment to get his money, to get anything. He was just
Wow.
put straight on the boat. He was sent back to Europe.
Cohen.
Vahuva lakoyen. And when he had plenty of time on the boat to think about this, that he was warned, and he felt very bad. By the time he got to Europe, he went to the Fetish Shloime, and he did tshuva.
He told him what to do to
Fetish Shloime gave him that. Good. So Bazoi, let's learn a few psukim and a wonderful the halach in the Rambam. Huh?
You read the story of
Tazria, exactly. So this is the beginning in the parsha of this week. There's a condition, which is white condition in the skin. He's to be brought to the Cohen. That's a siman tumah. If he doesn't see a siman Torah or a siman tumah, so then he says you wait a week and he sees him again, 2 weeks, and again if they come back to the Kohen has to come and look at him, and if the Kohen comes after 2 weeks again and he sees that the siman tumah, the timah Kohen tzarasi. Okay. Let's look in the Rambam, Hilchos Tumas Tzaras, Perek Tes, Aloch Aleph, Agavur Hashkocha Protas. This week, Shabbos, we're learning the parsha of Tazria Metzoira, and which Rambam we're starting to learn? Hilchos Metzoira. So Hilchos, huh? Unbelievable.
No, but the first pasuk is for Tazria is even a pasuk.
Right? Hakel Mistamem Benegoyim. The Rambam says, I feel a cotton ben yom avloy goy, but I get toisha. Hakel kshein lead us to Negoyim. Everyone could see the Negoyim. Chol Negoyim Adam, roya chutz m'negatz. A person could look at any nega, but his only Negoyim is not qualified to look at. Right? The Welt sagt, the famous call, you could people see Negoyim and everyone else. The only Negoyim no one sees, the only Negoyim.
But that's when the Negoyim is by the body, but then they have Negoyim by the actual the house.
Right. This is talking about the body. Right. Avo b'shahakol kshein, but the same halacha applies. Avo b'shahakol kshein lead us to Negoyim. Tumah v'tahora taholuya. Everyone could look.
The stage of diagnosis has nothing to do with the Cohen.
Right. The diagnosis every time at Chachim could do it. Oh, but to declare it tumah or declare it Torah, that has to be only a Kohen. Ketzah. Kohen shouldn't be there lead us. Now Chachim ra'ayu. If the Kohen doesn't know The Chacham looks at it. V'aymer loy emer tamei v'koyin emer tamei emer tor v'koyin emer tor. The Chacham looks and makes a diagnosis, and he tells the Kohen declare it tamei or declare it tor. He's girei v'mas girei. Or he says it's doubt, therefore he has to be locked up for 7 days. We'll come back to check. According to the words of the Cohen, will be every nega. It will be declared tamei or
The
tor.
Kohen himself could be mindless.
Yeah, I feel like cotton. A Cohen cotton scheite. Doesn't matter. Chacham oimer loy v'machel poite soiger. Medron Moshe Cohen semach the Chacham and Cohen roy v'semach latzma asal lidis negam kol gamet shereinu rabbi v'baka b'chol negam shv'sem nigga adam kulam nigga bottom nigga begodem nigga bottom. That it's only if he's relying on the Chacham. If the Cohen wants to see it on his own, without a Chacham telling him what to do, then he has to really go to yeshiva, and he has to be a baki
No three.
in everything. There's no such thing. Yeah, I know this type of nega.
What about he's
You know or you don't know?
What about he's bucky only on the person and not on the clothing?
I don't know. We have to deal with it then. Kohen shetime esator oitir esatomi. A person that the Kohen is v'lo esaklum shnematamu metima Kohen toru tire Kohen. So the Kohen can't make Moshe Kapoyer. Kohen shetime esator tire esatomi lo esaklum. Okay.
Even though I heard from the Talmid Chacham,
No, if he did the opposite.
or Talmid
If he
Chacham
didn't
tells
do
him
it,
style,
if it
and
was
style.
clearly, if it
Lo
was
sechum.
clearly not a nega,
Right, huh?
cannot
What do you
make
mean,
it.
lo sechum?
He didn't. If this was clearly Tahor and the Kohen said the opposite, it's Tomei. So that's nothing. He has to say the right thing. He can't
It
just
wasn't a doubt.
can't
Play
just
around.
play games as like pick up his hands, flip a coin. Okay, Tahor, Tomei. He has to be really based on the signs. You would think, it's only in the hands of the Kohen, so the Kohen can do whatever you want. Let's flip a coin, heads or tails. No, he can't. He has to either be bucky and then make a decision, or the Chacham will tell him and he'll follow what the Chacham tells him.
The Kohen doesn't have to be Baki, the Chacham has to be Baki.
Or the Kohen
Chacham
himself
will tell
could be a Chacham. Either way, it's kosher. Either the Kohen is a Chacham, or the Kohen is a Chacham to take it with a Chacham with him.
It's good to be Chacham this way.
You have to know your limits.
Okay? I tell my kids, I'm very smart. So you see, I picked the best mommy for you. So the either
It's a good point.
yeah,
You're going to tell your wife something?
Oh
Tell
yeah,
your kids the same
not the wife, the
the
kids.
kids. Huh?
I came out with a book, but I think Curious George, Mrs. Bernstein.
Yeah, cute. Okay, now a beautiful behezbeh from the Rebbe on this halacha. There is a Kli Yokor, there is a Alter Rebbe, all have the same question, and they all have different pshatim. Why is it that the purification comes only through a coin? Kli Yokor has a beautiful pshat. So there's 3 reasons of why Negoyim come. One person that's very arrogant gets Negoyim. The Kohanim are not arrogant. They are midasei stapkos. They don't own land or anything.
Not that kind.
The Samech Bechelkoi.
Not that
Kohanim
kind.
are always happy. Huh?
Not that.
Not that kind, God, exactly.
Well, I shouldn't say.
But mostly Kohanim, they're missed. So therefore, and then also it's a person Lashon Hara. Kohanim don't speak Lashon Hara. They tell you straight in the face, but they don't speak Lashon Hara.
I understand why I'm straight.
So Kohanim could straighten out and all the problems that lead to Negoyim, the Kohanim are the ones that can heal. Good. The Alter Rebbe has a whole maimer in lekuti Torah. Why Kohanim can heal? Kohanim has to do with Chochma has to do with Bittul, and all the Negoyim come from Gaiva, from Yeshus. The Kohen helps a person in Bittul. Great. But the shaila here is why no one asks even. Why is it that the other way around? Why the tumah must come also from the Kohen? All the Mefarshim ask why the tahara must come from the Kohen. All the Mefarshim are giving explanations why the tahara must come from the Kohen. But why must the tumah also come from the Kohen? It's not only that. That's really the foundation. First comes the tumah, and now the Kohen that made him tumah has to make him tahor. But so why is the Cohen must make him tummy? What is it to do? Faked. A Cohen has to do with tahara. A Cohen is not allowed to go into a cemetery. Only for special, for very close relatives, allowed to become tummy. So I understand that Cohen has to do with tahara. But what's the shaykhs? So if you tell me the Cohen, the tahara comes through the Cohen, I get it. But why is it that the tumah comes from the Cohen? Is the Rebbe's question. Why is it that the tumah comes from the Cohen? Right? You understand the question? Simple.
Yeah, but where exactly in which point that the Cohen is giving tumah?
Because that's what the din is. That
No.
the
It
chacham could.
becomes the time.
I
He's the
understand,
only one who's allowed to do it.
If the Cohen doesn't declare a tumah, there's nothing.
If it's a real name,
And they even do
Oh,
like this.
that part. That part,
If
that part, I got it.
the guy is a
you
chosen,
gotta declare it.
so the Cohen says, I give you do you a favor, make you a favor.
Grace period.
I'll walk away and then come back after your Sheva Brachas. That's what the Kohen does. So you see that the Tumah never is Chal until the Kohen declares a Tumah.
So it's your doctor. Who's dead? Who's alive?
Yeah, so unbelievable. But Mela Tahara comes to a Kohen, I understand. But why does the Tumah, why did the Eibush to make, and what can we learn from this? We spoke about this last week, that all the Rambam says that all the mitzvahs has to teach is Latakin, and from every mitzvah I have to take a lesson to in Avodas Hashem, to make myself a better person. What kind of lesson can I learn from this? The Rebbe says, Moire de Kavor. This was a Fabrengen. The Rebbe was unbelievable. The Rebbe says, because a Cohen, like this. This is an unusual thing, tzaras. The Torah says, Bodod Yeshiv Mechutz Lamachne Mashavoy. He was sent out every machana. There was the machana Shechina, there was the machana Levi, the machana Yisrael. He was sent chutz l'sholosh machanas. He was sent all the way out. In the days of the Beis Hamikdash, you couldn't even stay in the city. You have to go outside the walls of the city.
But that is by himself.
Badad! Even other Tameim, no Tommy was as bad as Metzoida. It was as if he was kicked out of Klal Yisrael, Rahman al-Islam. So now the question is, who makes this decision? It's a life and death. So we say like this: who is a Kohen? Kohen says, "Lavorich as Am Yisrael the Ava." Why is the bracha Ava? The Zohar says that a Kohen that doesn't give bracha with Ava, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Listen.
Dangerous. He knows that. He can tell us about it. The Kohen is a Isha Chesed, and therefore the Torah relies on the Kohen, that the Kohen is for sure going to give the bracha with love, because that must come with Ava, and that's what the pasuk says in the Shoftim. HaKohenim bom bocher Hashem l'shorsoi u'levorich b'shem Hashem v'al piyem yeh kori v'chol nega. Because they give the bracha, they can do the never. What's the connection? The connection is simple. A person could stand out there and say, this shaiget tzaros. Get out of here. You go out of the Jewish base medrash. Get out of the Jewish neighborhood. Get out of the whole city. Never walk back into the city. Okay? It's very easy. He doesn't know what this other person's feeling. He doesn't know the other person's circumstances. A Cohen, which is Isa Chesed, feels how terrible a sentence this is. He feels the full gravity of this sentence of sending someone out to Mechutz L'Gimel Machanas. He will for sure make sure he'll tell the Chochem, come on, he can't think of another limit schus, maybe he could make a Torah. He's gonna drei the Talmud Chochem Azay and Azay and Azay. And the Kohen is gonna say, maybe we can find a limit schus. The Kohen feels
the obligation to make it.
Yeah, because he feels the pain of the Yid that Nebuch is. And if the Kohen really is going to come to the feeling that this Yid is Nebuch, he's really a Matzorah, so then we rely on the Kohen. We trust the Kohen. Because the Kohen, who is the Isha Chesed, who knows how to give a bracha ba'ava, him we could trust that he could say, okay, I'm sorry, that's it. This guy really has to go Mechutz L'Macha. But if he's not a Kohen, we can't trust him. Even if he's a big Chochem, we can't trust him. The Rebbe said then, what do you think in the Fabrengen? That there's a Tzemach Tzedek. Tzemach Tzedek says that sometimes you find people, they're very zealot. They're kanoas. But really, it's not godliness is kind. The Eibush is teva atov laheitiv. The Eibush is very kind. even though there are nasty angels that always they say, "Ooh, punish this one, that one." When the Eibishter, when he punishes, it's not. It's like a person who's trying to take out stains from the begodim. It's surgical. He's trying to take the stains. The Yidden have stains. The Eibishter sometimes they has to remove it in a way that it hurts. But the Eibishter, this whole thing of, yeah, come on, let's see some blood. Rachmana litzlan. That's a bad teva. And some people have a very bad teva. They're looking for blood, but they can't walk into Beis HaMedrash like this, wielding a knife. So they come along and they start screaming, "Bah, bah, bah, bah. You're not a Yid of Shemayim. You're doing this bad." They're starting to scream at everyone that they're doing everything bad. They find all the bad things about all the people around them. And they start screaming, but really it's just a teva mushchas, and they're using it out as if they're kanos the kedusha. So therefore, we don't trust. If a person is going to say something negative about a Yid, we don't trust.
We don't trust him.
And as long as the Cohen doesn't declare there's tomei, it's not tomei. The Rebbe says if a person starts screaming at a Yid that Yid is mechutz l'machana, and he's not really a person who's a Cohen, he's not a Yisha Chesed, he's not Lavarach HaMesar Ba'ava. So not only is it not true that person belongs B'chutz L'machana, but the person who says it belongs now B'chutz L'machana. Because he said a Kitrug on another Yid.
So that's why.
So the person that speaks and screams at the other, the person who's the big maven,
also becomes Tomei.
he's the one that has to go Chutz L'Shalosh Malchus.
Yeah, but isn't it that when a Cohen is making another person Torah afterwards, he's becoming Tomei also?
No, not in tzaras. No, that was only in Azoya. That was by Pora Aduma. When they burned the Pora Aduma.
But he should be, the tactic should be that way. That if the Kohen says he's Tomei, so he become a Tomei.
No, but the Rebbe says that the word is that the Kohen, because he always wants to be Matar Yid, so after he's going to be Matame, he's going to look for many eitzes how to find the person a way to become Torah again. So we trust, number one, we trust that he's not going to be so quick to pull the trigger. And number two, we trust that the Kohen is going to try very hard to bring the person back into Tahara.
So what you're saying is like, you can't say that somebody that's Tamei is Tahor, but he can just not say anything, right?
Right.
He can just
He can
withhold
wait. He can
abstain.
wait. Or he could look into it deeper and deeper, because this is really to do.
Things.
It's like
Things
right.
have to be interpreted.
Exactly.
When
Right.
you marry, the Rav is usually
not-
checks
it's
out
usually
the
not clear.
nudit.
It's all
He
kinds
doesn't
of-
say it right away.
There's
He
all
waits,
kinds of
checks
and
it
how big
again
it
and
is
again.
how
He tries to find a
coloring
better
it is,
light.
and all kinds
Because,
of complications.
For a
Exactly.
purpose to push the
7
no.
more days.
Right. Exactly.
Same idea.
Exactly
Yeah, it has to
the
do
same
with the
idea.
color. Did it become darker? Did it
Because
spread?
it's something with the
Did
eye,
hairs,
right?
Did it become white? And
So.
Exactly. It's the same concept.
So the bottom line is that now we're in the weeks that leading up to Chag HaShavuos. It's Vayichan Shem Yisrael Neged Dahor, and it's also the time that we trying to metaken the lack of Avas Yisrael. The Avas Chinam should take away Sinas Chinam. Memela, now is the time when we read the parshas tzaras, when tazria metzoida, when the Torah tells us that keeps on emphasizing that who could send a Yid chutz l'machana, a Cohen. If you're not a Cohen, don't scream at another Yid to be chutz l'machana. And that's a lesson of what we're supposed to do in these weeks leading up to Chag HaShavuos and Matan Torah.
You know, Dalet Sivan was a very good date for the Jews.
Why?
I was born in Dalet Sivan.
Ah.
These years coming up.
Yeah, Beizir coming up.
This is for unity. This is
Better
the bottom
better.
line is to make unity from all.
Yes.
That's the idea.
Right. To bring
Unity, not to be judged.
not to kick the Jew out of
Not to
the
be have
Right.
harshness.
So
right.
you're saying the Rebbe says that the person who's not supposed to be doing something that the Kohen is supposed to, because he's not a Kohen.
Kohen is
If he
lenient. Kohen
declares
is
somebody, then he himself.
He himself now. He's going to shame.
Oh, because he's like Mekatzer.
He's not Makati. He's now saying.